My opponent now recognizes that this is a problem, because that thing is going to be level 3. And I could potentially have another level 2 one with the ultra heavy armor. I throw down an iron beam here. My opponent did apparently get wasp spawn, really? Was that offered? I didn't even fully check. I do throw down more sabers though, because I like sabers. My big problem right now is that I don't really have a lot of chaff clear. But then again, my opponent doesn't have the world in chaff. He has like 8 pieces of chaff right now, which is good. It's more than I have, but I guess I'm elite anyway. So I don't really want all that much chaff. He's once again taking so much time to think. At least I hope it's not bugged. No, he has the melters, and that just plain drops his money down. Range on the melters, and if he hits an upgrade button, like... Okay, no, he recycles a unit. And throws down another melter. Okay. This is looking like still a sensible place. Like, he's using his money, so I don't think it's bugged. I guess he guessed the correct site. He sold the wasps here. Those were one of my primary targets. And I guess he just plain predicted that I would do this. So now suddenly I am facing Melter Storm, which has previously before the Vulcan meta been the meta. But these units can definitely deal with my Saber-Tooths, and they can deal with the healing Saber-Tooths no problem whatsoever. So now that I'm not having the chaff clear and my opponent kinda is just storming all of my chaff, my tanky units aren't really surviving. It's suddenly looking pretty bleak here. I do have a decent amount of storms alive. Well, I did. Before they all died to my opponent's storms. Yeah. This was not a good round. And I do recognize the threat. Now, how to blast this? I'm not even sure. I know one thing. Neither of these units kill fire badgers effectively, and I need chaff clear. So fire badgers are really a godsend here. Question is, does he build wasps again, like level 1 wasps? They still have a purpose here. I go elite on the marksman to deal more damage and stay further behind. This can legitimately wreck the melters, because these marksmen are going to do a whole lot of DPS from afar. My opponent also goes Fire Badger and gives them double attacks, range and ignite. Meanwhile, I only go for range. I do also throw some crawlers on the outside. What I did was already expensive enough. Upgrade here, upgrade there. I only had the money for these. And it does build wasps again. Also buys out temp range, goes for a mobile beacon probably for the crawlers, right? Yes. Well, these crawlers aren't surviving a whole lot, but it's definitely helping. All of my units kinda get pulled towards the middle. And napalm is bad. At the same time, it's kinda also burning some of his own chaff, I hope at least. Though it does expose me for the melters, of course. You can see how badly this is going right now. I'm still stuck on wasps. Level 1 was definitely a solid choice here. My marksmen get grilled. And the melters still outrange him. And then, I don't have a whole lot to kill these anymore. A lot of melters staying alive, and I'm kinda dropping in health quite quickly here. So what to do here? Lightning Storm comes out, also deployment spec and improved firepower control. I go for deployment spec. And I go for wasp. Because if one thing can save me here, it is the wasp. What does my opponent get though? I go for wasps and throw EMP on them. My opponent also goes for wasps. And throws shields on him. I don't actually know how the matchup is with these, but I think the shielded wasps and the EMP wasps are kinda the same strength. I do have elite wasps though, and he only has normal wasps. So oil comes down here and it's going to burn all of my few chaff units. I really don't have a lot of chaff here. I don't think this is particularly worth it. My wasps get targeted by his wasps and they're not shooting. Well, now they are shooting back finally. In the middle I won the wasp war. On the outsides I lost it. But the melters are all distracted. And that is huge. Now my units are on his stormcrawlers. And some tower fallen. Another tower fallen. The wasps are still getting plinked down, but the saber-tooths are on the big melting points. I think that was just some sabers killing a melting point here. It's kind of looking like I have the artillery war now. The smelter can't kill all of my units before it goes down. So despite oil, my opponent takes a loss here. I've been in a situation like this for some times. And I know one thing. If you fall behind in the wasp war, you are dead. Incendiary comes back out. Or is off cooldown. Maybe I should call it like that. It is. I do go for a item on that fire badger in the middle. Because it can hopefully tank some more. I throw down as many shields as I can. Because, well, we have incendiary. What am I going to do other than that? And I do go for range on my wasps. My opponent goes for range as well. So once again, the wasps are kind of the same, and I just drop more wasp. I do stack one side with these wasps, in an effort to win that side. Where am I throwing the incendiary? I'm leveling, yeah, leveling marksman, definitely a solid choice, I think. Incendiary here, he does shield though. Throws down enough shields so that this doesn't do a whole lot. Wasp War should be going more in my favor this time. Like more than before, I hope at least. EMP still disabling his techs. And once these are on the melters, they are going to be super annoying. Because the melters lose all of the extra range. And they're still shooting wasps and nothing else. At the end of the day, it's a pretty big win, but is it enough to finish it? Well, let's see. And he gets completely blasted. It is enough to finish him. I just want to check, but that is... yeah, that is the final round. So that was a win as well. Against Melter Storm, nonetheless. I guess it wasn't proper Ultra Melter Storm, because you'd need investment into Stormcrawlers here, but the Fire Badgers were kind of fulfilling this. So I guess it was Fire Badger Melter Wasp, in a sense. And against it, I played basically Saber-Tooth Marksman Wasp. And some Fire Badgers for clear. Well, those are some interesting boards. I am happy I managed to win against a meta build like this. And I think the reason is because I was winning the Wasp War. If I wasn't winning the Wasp War, this goes around and turns around on me very quickly. You've seen how much damage he can do with just one round one. Anyway, let's turn it around and see how he could have won this. Alright, multi-melt did look pretty good here. So I think I'm gonna try it again. Go for the multi-melting upgrade. Definitely hit all of these buttons before anything else happens. Is there anything expensive that I can sell? I don't necessarily want to sell that. But I would also like to get maybe crawler production. But that's probably not going to work out. Let me just multi-melt as much as I possibly can. And once again sell a pack of wasps. And then I think I want one wasp pack like mobile beaconed in the rear. As much as I can, I guess. Throw these melters all across the board and hope that is enough. and just invest into some shields. Like here and here. That is a read, but I guess what am I gonna do? Don't have the money for all of that. Alright, let's see. Some of these stormcrawlers, okay, they don't get killed. But the crawlers in the back, I think, died. Multi-melt definitely going for all it can. Late wasps are hopefully late enough, but not early. Not early either. Late enough to be useful. Late enough to not die. Early enough not to lose, because, well, there is too much in front, okay. They are shielding this melter. So if anything can do it, it's that. Yeah, I think the late wasps were a good play here. They go grab the tower, and I think I've solved it. Yep, puzzle has been solved. So multi-melt was actually a decent choice here to win the wasp war. Nice. Alright, I guess it works. I guess it works, even against the EMP on the wasps. Well, that I think was attempt number 3. That was actually, or 4, pretty good, I think, overall. So there's nothing more to say other than thanks everybody for watching and listening, and I hope to see you in the next one as well. Until then.